All right, we're going to sign 3 memorandums right now. The first one is withdrawal from the United States from the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
Everyone knows what that means, right? We've been talking about this for a long time. Thank you. Okay. Great thing for the American worker, what we just did.
Next, a federal government employee hiring freeze.
Except for the military.
Except for the military.
Except for the military.
Next is the policy in regard to Mexico City.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you, Press.
Thank you very much. Thank
Mr.
you.
President, reaction to the lawsuit today?
Thank you.
That's it.
Without
Thank
merit.
you, guys.
Totally without merit.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. I'm coming to you live from the press room. Not really, but we have the press room there behind us. Hey, how about that? We wanted to open up. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. If you'd like to be on the show and be a caller, 706-889-9700. If you'll text us at that number first, could you put our FYN TV logo in the bottom corner and then put our banner up just saying good morning and, you got me? Okay. Thank you. And I just seen there on the bottom. There you go. Thank you. That's how people know how to get in touch. Chief@FetcherNews.com. If you'd like to be on the show, 706-889-9700 or Chief@FetcherNews.com. We'd like to get you on here. You could text me, email me. 3 executive orders yesterday. First of all, I want to get right into the show. We're going to stay focused this morning. We have a lot to go over. Yesterday, I promised everybody a 9 o'clock Drain the Swamp Fannin County update, and we did not get to that. My apology. So I'm going to make a commitment at 9 o'clock today. We are going to do DTS Fannin County, Drain the Swamp Fannin County. So that'll give you plenty of time. We're going to recap where we're at, and I'm going to let you know the direction I'm going in and maybe how you could be a part of that. So if you want everybody to know, I will do that at 9 o'clock. I apologize for not getting to it yesterday. We're going to stay focused here. But, before we start with the serious stuff, the Patriots, it looks as though the Boston Globe writer, Dan Shaughnessy, okay, he's with the Boston Globe, all right? And it looks like Boston is not really excited. The Patriots are not excited to play the Falcons. And, it's just like we don't hate Atlanta nor their sports fans. No, it's not that. When it comes to Atlanta, it's sports fan. We feel nothing, maybe a little pity. Ooh, the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl in Houston on February 5th, and they are going to play the Atlanta Falcons, and that takes a little fun out of the experience. Falcons fans, I'm telling you right now, I mean, this guy, it's like sad they have to come play the Falcons. It's thrilling to see the Patriots get a chance to carry out their frontier justice on Roger Goodell. It will be sweet if Bill Belichick becomes the first coach to win 5 Super Bowls and Tom Brady ends the debate once and for all by surpassing Terry Bradshaw and Joe Montana with 5 Super Bowl rings. But Atlanta, ? Seriously? Atlanta? This will be like Larry Bird's Celtics winning 2 of their championships by beating the Houston Rockets instead of the Lakers. It would be like the Bruins beating the expansion St. Louis Blues to win the Stanley Cup. I'll be like the Red Sox. It'll be like the Red Sox beating the Colorado Rockies to win the World Series. I know this makes us greedy, but it's real. A Super Bowl versus Dallas Cowboys or New York Football Giants or Green Bay Packers would have many more layers of storylines in history. Even a rematch with Pete and the Poodle Carroll and the Seahawks would have drummed up some extra interest. Okay? So, this is not an insult, he says, but I just thought Falcons fans should know right out of the gate. It looks like in Boston, you're not even being taken serious as a contender. You don't even, being in the Super Bowl, it's just, it's like pity. You know what I mean? So I had to open with that. Okay. Huh?
Let Vic Beasley hit Brady one time. We'll see how serious he takes him.
I just had to read that article. It ticked me off. I mean, that article ticked me off. That really did. I was like, come on.
Number one offense in the NFL. Number one.
We know that.
Number one scoring offense, number one quarterback rating, number one offense in the NFL. Granted, our defense wasn't hot in the beginning of the seasons, but the last 5 games, they've looked crazy. Vic Beasley's getting through the line. You look at the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers host Aaron Rodgers, who is one of the best scrambling quarterbacks in the NFL today. And how many times did we sack him? So let Brady not take us seriously. We'll be happy to eat his lunch and go back to Atlanta with a Super Bowl.
Okay, can I get on with the game? I mean the show, not the game. Can I get on with it?
You can get on with the game.
All right, I didn't mean to open up and infuriate, but that's I read that article at like 5 o'clock this morning. I was like, really, man? Wow. Okay, stinger. Boston, no respect for the birds. Okay, moving right along. What happened yesterday, if you've been following this show for quite some time, I was totally opposed to the Trans-Pacific Partnership for a plethora of reasons. I had several reasons. We did I worked on that for a complete week. And one of my, I'll never forget interviewing Georgia U.S. Senator David Perdue on the Trans-Pacific Partnership. And I was, my biggest concern on this trade agreement is A, Obama supported it, and B, you could not read it. Remember, they had it down in the basement. The Trans-Pacific Partnership paperwork was down in the basement of the Capitol, right? I think it was the Capitol. They were down in the basement, and you had to sign up. If memory serves me right, you had to sign up to go read it. Okay. When you went in, you had to leave your smartphone so you could not record. All recording devices, pen, paper, everything, your smartphone so you couldn't scan anything. And you could only take, a chapter at a time in and read it, then return it like you're returning a book, and then they would give you another one if you wanted to read another one. But you could only read a couple chapters. And no one had read the entire thing. You and I, the public, could not see the Trans-Pacific Partnership, but Donald Trump made a promise that he would get out of that deal, okay, and get a chance for us to look at everything concerning trade. For those out there that are concerned with Trump's position on trade, don't worry. I promise you that. Do not worry. They need to trade with us, okay? Just we are going to drive the agreement, and we are not going to thank them for letting us be at the table. We are going to have the table they come to, and that's just that with Donald Trump. So don't worry. Don't get confused. Don't worry. A couple things that took place yesterday. A hiring freeze of federal workers, with the exception of the military. A hiring freeze. They're going nuts out there. A hiring freeze. I love everything about that. Get out of the Trans-Pacific Partnership. A hiring freeze. Okay? Absolutely. Now, the Mexico City language I will just have to humble myself and say I don't know 100% the meaning of that. I just do know in a summary point that you cannot use federal funds outside. Well, you can't use federal funds. We cannot send federal funds to any agencies throughout the world that support abortion or whatever the case may be. I will look at that a little closer. I don't want to go into something that I don't have all the details, but I do know that is a positive step, for those that were concerned on Donald Trump's pro-life stance. For everyone out there that thought that this was the liberal that was pulling the wool over your eyes, and all the articles that said, wait till he gets in there, this bleeding heart New York liberal, Previs standing next to him, and Mike Pence on the other side, I'm going to tell you something, folks. This is not the bleeding heart liberal that many articles portrayed him. Now, we just got started here. But there's a couple big things that took place that I'm not for sure are being reported. And one of those is the 75, now he met with business leaders yesterday. We're going to play that clip in a minute. But he met with business leaders yesterday. And business leaders, he's asking, what do you need, what is your priority? The big tax break or regulations? And you would be shocked of the businesses in this country that, yes, want the tax break, obviously. They want an aggressive tax plan to repatriate money, bring jobs back, grow their business, incentive for buying new equipment, reinvestment, all the above, okay? They want that. But regulations. Now, Donald Trump is a builder, so Donald Trump knows what it's like to want, he thinks it's ridiculous when a company, and he's sitting down with a major corporation, says, okay, why are you not in the United States? Well, Mr. President, one, the taxes are enormous, and we need a much more aggressive tax plan. Okay, we got that. But in another country, we can decide we're going to invest $1 billion. And we can look at that return being over X period of years and a time frame. And when we look at that return, we also know that we can get our permits, build the factory, and have production, which is returning investment in 24 months. 24 months. The likelihood of that, okay, the likelihood of that in the United States is not 24 months. It's 5, 6 to 7 years, because by the time you go through all the lawsuits that are out there, and you get stopped at every corner to try to get your permits and try to get variances, whatever it may be, it's 6 to 7 years, and then your return on investment, you have no return on investment, and you can't invest $1 billion. It would cost much more than that, so you have to look elsewhere to get a return. Now, Donald Trump speaks that language, understands that language, and he has, for one, had it with we can't build a road because we can't get a mile of interstate through a mountain or around some swamp. So we end a total project. We can't get rail to go anywhere because we have to, we can't blast anything without, 3 years of litigation. Now, let me tell you something. When Donald Trump looks at business leaders, and this is something that I don't think many people are paying attention to, the underlying. When Donald Trump looks at business leaders and says, I will cut 75%, maybe even more. We need to get rid of 75% or maybe even more than that of the regulations in this country. Folks, do you realize there are total law firms? Law firms. There are firms that have total floors of buildings in cities. There are firms that do nothing but focus on, okay? And we have government agencies that have a total setup of of legal counsel just for the suits, and we have firms to handle that. So if you want to build something or you want to do something and there's all these regulations, there are specific law firms that handle litigating these regulations for you. Do you realize that itself, if Donald Trump, okay, you know, they always talk about ending the IRS, okay? Well, if you end the IRS and you put in a flat tax, then, you know, who needs the accountant, okay? So you got all these accountants out there wondering, you know, what would I do next? They'd have to go to a retraining center somewhere like the factory workers to be retrained. And, you know, I have a lot of friends that are accountants. That's not where I'm going with this. But the talk is, well, you know, what would you do if you end the IRS? You don't need a whole team of, you know, accountants to handle your stuff. The same goes for 75% of the regulations. You get rid of 75% of the regulations in this country, you're going to close the doors on several law firms that nobody's talking about, and you're going to end a major hassle to business owners in this country through litigation on a daily basis. If you stop and had the time to go look at how much litigation on a daily basis takes place in this country based on regulations, overreach of government agencies, it's enormous. It ties up our courts. We have courts dedicated to it, ties up our judges. This is big, and I support that all the way. Okay, Trump will build a wall. I know he will build a wall. I agree with that 100%. It'll happen. Mike Pompeo, put his picture up there if you don't mind, please. John Brennan is gone, all right? Mike Pompeo is sworn in last night, the new head of the CIA. Boy, if I'd have bring that down a little bit. If I'd have read an article about the Patriots and the Falcons, you'd be all over that. But, you know, but God knows we can't let people see. Is it the mystery swearing in? Is that what you had going over there? There's Mike Pompeo. He is the new head of the CIA over there at Langley, being sworn in by Mike Pence. He passed the test over there at the Senate. One protest vote there that's surprising from Rand Paul, but he wants more oversight on the CIA. So he had a protest vote. We're not going to make a whole lot out of that. But Mike Pompeo, Brennan is gone. I could not be happier this morning to say that John Brennan is gone. Mike Pompeo is going over to Langley, and there's not a rift within the intelligence community that the media leads you to believe there is. So you go ahead and take that off there. Democrats want to stop. You're going to see, and I want to say this, and I want to go on record with this. Okay, Tillerson for Secretary of State. He made it out of committee, 11-10 party lines. Rubio backed down at the last minute, but you're going to see Rubio's confirmation, Tillerson's confirmation next week, I think. But then you're going to see Perry's today. Betsy DeVos, the Democrats are trying to go after her. They're trying to go after all the nominees. They cannot stop. Let me explain something, okay? This is important, and this is something I'm going to request that all of you pay attention to, and close, very close. They cannot stop by vote, the Democrats. They can't stop by vote in no way whatsoever. Any of Donald Trump's nominees, cabinet nominees, can't stop them. Their goal is to terrorize them. I'm serious. To put them through all the hell they can. All right? I mean, you know, they're out there now trying to see if there's like some unpaid dog walker or something. Somebody that walked their dog that didn't get paid. Whatever it may be, they're doing everything they can to try to scare, okay, one of these nominees from into, you know, removing their name for consideration. All right, so there's no embarrassment in a vote. All the above. It cannot happen. I'm going to tell you right now on January 24th, 2017 at 8:19 in the morning. If one of Trump's nominees, now I am not on board with every cabinet pick. I have come here and discussed that. But if one, folks out there, if one of these cabinet picks go down, God forbid you get the conservative. You will not get the conservative Supreme Court justice nominee because the head clown, and we all know who that is, Chuck Schumer, vows to lay down in the street in front of the car if he has to stop a Supreme Court nominee that does not have all of America's best interest. So I'm just telling you, one nominee can't have it happen, cannot let it happen. Every nominee has to get approved. Not one nominee can pull their name. Nobody can pull their name. Donald Trump needs to hit a home run with this, because if the Democrats get one, you watch out on your Supreme Court pick. I'm serious. If your Supreme Court pick is based on this cabinet getting approved, that's all there is to it. Okay, it's based on this cabinet getting approved. So now China is upset, and I will tell you this, and we'll get into this a little later in the show. But I said to you, I have come here and I have been waiting for a president. And I have looked at those pictures in the South China Sea and those man-made islands, okay, that is now just a full-blown military base that China put in the South China Sea. I've been waiting for a president to say, stop. Stop your land grab. You stop expanding those islands. Stop. Okay? Been waiting on that. Donald Trump is stepping up to the plate in every aspect. I want to take a break. I want to come back. The three automakers are coming to town. Big guys. I wonder if they will make them drive electric cars. You remember the last time the three came, how they got treated? Is it 2008 or 2009, how they got treated when they wanted bailout money? I wonder if they'll fly their private jets in. I wonder if their private jets will be flown in. Sorry about that. This thing takes off on its own. Wonder if they'll fly their private jets in. Meeting with the big three today. I'm your host, BKP. We'll be right back. Nobody has forgotten about Hillary Clinton. Trust me. That won't go away. I'll be back after these messages. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Take a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
We'll get to know each other very well. We'll have these meetings whenever you need them, actually, but I would say every quarter. And if you look at some of the original great people that ran this country, you will see that they felt very strongly about that. Gonna make your products, and we're gonna start making our products again. And there'll be advantages to companies that do indeed make their products here. We are going to be cutting taxes massively for both the middle class and for companies, and that's massively. We're trying to get it down to anywhere from 15 to 20%, and it's now 35%, but it's probably more 38% than it is 35, wouldn't you say? That's a big thing. A bigger thing, and that surprised me, is the fact that we're going to be cutting regulation massively. Now, we're going to have regulation, and it'll be just as strong and just as good and just as protective of the people as the regulation we have right now. The problem with the regulation that we have right now is that you can't do anything. I have people that tell me they have more people working on regulations than they have doing product. But if you go to another country and you decide that you're going to close and get rid of 2,000 people or 5,000 people, I tell you, United Technologies was an example with Carrier, and I got involved, 2 years after they announced. So, in all fairness, that was tough. But United Technologies was terrific, and they brought back many of those jobs. But if that happens, we are going to be imposing a very major border tax on the product when it comes in, which I think is fair. I just want to tell you, all you have to do is stay. Don't leave. Don't fire your people in the United States. We have the greatest people. And many other countries have the great people. I mean, we all have great people, okay? This isn't that kind of a competition. Everybody has great people. But if we're going to fire people and build a product outside, not going to happen.
Folks, that's what I was talking about in the first segment, is the 75% of the regulations. Now, there will be people that don't understand. Trust me, there is a reality in the world that you and I live in that the mainstream media, the Beltway, they do not understand. The reality you and I live in, he says we're going to have regulations. Okay, everybody, I think, okay, I'm going to take this on my own. I like clean drinking water. I think our children should have clean drinking water. I think I think there's so many things out there we do agree on that we don't have to jump into the deep end with no water. Okay, we don't have to dive into some of these things, but the regulations are killing our companies and it's preventing jobs from coming back. All right, so he says we're going to have regulations. Now the media will be trying to figure out what that means and to you and I, and then they'll be trying to tie it to, regulations work so well that they can't drink the water in Flint, Michigan. There you go, right? He said exactly what I told you earlier, that the media is not reporting on. He said, more people. He said, I talk to companies, they say they have more people working on regulations than anything else, okay? Now, I'm okay with it, but you go and you try to do a project anywhere, you will put somebody in charge of MSDS sheets, okay? Trust me, okay? You will put somebody in charge of providing all the information on regulations. If you go to build something and you have the government and you're going to use a certain screw, I have actually had the government ask me on a screw to see if I could get the cut sheet, I don't have time to explain that, on what oil is on the glue, what oil is on the screw, and what is it washed with, and is there an oil on the screw when it's put in a box? I swear to God, you think I've lost it, but Donald Trump knows this, and that's what's going to change. Now, that being said, I don't want to get stuck on that. We played that. He met with business leaders. He understands business. They understand him. They are excited to meet with him. Let me tell you who you did not see in the room. You did not see Jeffrey Immel, okay? You didn't see him appoint a council, okay, because you had a president, whether you like it or not, you had a president just a couple days ago that had to have an economic business council because he knew nothing about it, was not interested in knowing anything about business, still does not know anything about business, and made a disaster and destroyed everything he could about small business or business in this country for the last 8 years. Okay, they printed quantitative easing. They printed so much money, the street sweepers were sweeping it in some of the cities, sweeping it up. I swear to God, you just don't understand what I'm trying to tell you here. The business, you didn't see Jeffrey Immel. You didn't see Warren Buffett there yesterday. You didn't see some of these people Obama brought in. You see real business leaders out there, the people that provide jobs, that create jobs. Not government. See, Donald Trump knows the people in that room create the jobs in this country. He knows that. And he's not strong-arming them. He is actually, I'm telling you what's happening in that room, and I'm not in there. He's looking at these people, he's saying, look, I understand where you're coming from. You can't build anything, taxes are a mess, you can't afford to work here. Tell me what we have to do because you're not leaving. So guys, women, men, women, CEOs, you're not leaving. You're going to bring the jobs home. You're not leaving, but we have to make this a business-friendly climate for you because we want our people to have the job. So what do we have to do? How can we help? How can you help and do your part because when we get done and we go out there, you're going to stay. If you go and you kill 2,000 jobs and you go somewhere else and you think you're going to bring it back, it's not going to work. And let me tell you why that's not strong-arming a company. Because he's saying that's not going to work. If you kill 2,000 jobs, because I am sitting down with you. And I'm saying we're going to do what we have to do. So after I work as hard as I do here for the American people, we the people, and you leave and think you're coming back? No. This is what we're going to do. We're going to work this out here. Today, the auto manufacturers. Now, here's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see some of the regulations put on these auto manufacturers dialed back. Now, I understand global warming and carbon credits and how the whole world's about to go crazy, but, you know, I'd like to see the auto manufacturers not put in a position where they have to try to meet these EPA standards, you know, of getting 900 miles to a gallon of gasoline. That's just a joke, but we'll see. A couple things before my 9 o'clock hour. Business friendly. Love everything about it. I got the I told you earlier on the Mexican language, I did not want to get down in the weeds of that and misrepresent what that meant. But I did get a message from a viewer just saying, funding for abortions overseas is gone. Thank you, President Trump. So we'll leave it at that. Funding for abortions overseas is gone. Now, just a couple things to pay attention to, because this year, just let's throw these all the way out, okay? This year you will see some states and some cities in financial problems that'll be coming to see Mr. Trump, okay? They'll be coming to see Mr. Trump. And I think this is interesting, okay? This is from Yahoo News. More Californians dreaming of country without Trump. This was important for them to put this out yesterday, okay? The election of the Republican businessman Donald Trump as President of the United States has some Californians dreaming of their own country. One in every three California residents support the most populous U.S. state peaceful withdrawal from the Union, according to a new Reuters opinion poll. Many of them Democrats, strongly opposed to Trump's, ascension to the country's highest office. The 32% support rate is sharply higher than the last time the poll was asked in California about succession. If you want to succeed from the Union, if you want to leave, go ahead, California, because this article is not old enough for the problem to go away. February 6, 2016, California's $400 billion debt worries. California has come a long way to dig itself out of a budget deficit. I don't think so. But the state remains on shaky ground due to nearly $400 billion in unfunded liabilities and debt from public pensions, retiree health care bonds, financial analysts say. Look, they're in big problems in California. They have covered them over. They put a fresh layer of dirt several years ago over their big problems. You better be more interested on how to fiscally fix California before you step out on your own, okay? You're like the kid that steps out there and realizes that you can't go get your own cell phone plan, so you have to come back home. I want to switch gears to Hillary Clinton, and I'll tell you why. A lot of people are wondering what is going on here with Hillary Clinton, and will everything that happened go away? I'm of the opinion, no, absolutely not. It will not go away, okay? That's what I'm strictly firmly under the opinion. This will not go away. Judicial Watch court hearing Tuesday, January 24th, today, in case seeking Clinton's communications turned over to FBO by Datto. Is it Datto? Okay. Judicial Watch today announces a hearing that will be held Tuesday, today, January 24th, regarding Judicial Watch's Freedom of Information Act lawsuit seeking records held by the FBI in connection with the text messages and emails from former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton stored on the equipment of Datto Inc., a commercial data management company. Judicial Watch's lawsuit seeks all records, including but not limited to emails or text messages, discovered, recovered, retrieved from, or found on any Datto device, equipment, or hardware connected to or used to back up or support former U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton's ClintonMail.com email system. Okay, that is today. Clinton reportedly was using an online backup service called Datto Inc. to create copies of her data during the time when she and her aides were improperly handling classified material. Datto announced it had turned over a hardware device to the FBI along with all Clinton's emails and the company had in its possession. We with the consent of our client and their end user, and consistent with all our policies regarding data privacy, yesterday, Tuesday, October 6th, this goes back, Datto delivered a hardware device to the FBI containing all the backup data related to Platte River Networks client known to be in its possession. So that is today. Judicial Watch will not let this go, okay? I promise they're not going to let this go. It's not going to happen. They're going to continue to go after this case. Hillary Clinton, according by all means, Judicial Watch is not going to let this go. Let's see, on January 23rd, Judicial Watch, 2 federal judges take action on emails. New email action by the court as Obama leaves office. I'll just tell you now, go to Judicial Watch when you get a minute. We can't get in the weeds on that, and start reading what they've got going on. Hillary Clinton's headaches are far from over. And I just don't think the Trump administration is going to step in and stop this. And in fact, what you have to realize is that now all of these lawsuits on the Obama administration now switch over actually to the Trump administration. What's important, before I go to break, to the Washington Post this morning, okay? Fury and internal power struggles mark Trump's tumultuous first days in office. That's the Washington Post. With no evidence, Trump claims that up to 5 million illegal ballots cost him the popular vote. Okay, these are some of the big things that the Washington Post thinks is the most important thing that you need to hear. The New York Times, Trump repeats an election lie in meeting with top lawmakers. That's the headline there. Cabinet hearings are set to resume on Capitol Hill. Journalism that matters, more essential than ever. Trump is not getting any kind of honeymoon with the press. Sean Spicer had a press conference yesterday for over an hour. Where's Sean? Is it Sean? Yeah, Sean Spicer. Over an hour press conference. It was a long time yesterday. You got him up there? There you go. That's Sean Spicer. He was in the press room yesterday, making nice with all the reporters yesterday in the press conference. I'm going to take a brief break. When I come back, I'm going to have about a 6-minute article wrap up, and then we are going to go in our Fannin County segment. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
It's a new year, new you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Folks, I'm your host, BKP. Welcome back. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I hope there's a lot of people listening, not just to me, are paying attention to what's going on, as far as I hope lawmakers understand you need to call your congressman and tell them the little things. Your senator and tell them the little things. And the problem is the little things are actually the stability of this country, the backbone of this country, and they are the big things. But it's the little things that count. New White House begins with English-only website. That's right. English, no press 2. No press 2 for Espanol. No press 3, no press 4. White House begins with English-only website as Trump team breaks with Obama by nixing all Spanish language content. And you wonder if he's serious. I mean, who will be out there tomorrow wondering if he's serious? You think he's serious? I don't know. I'm not seeing the signs. I'm looking for the signs to see if he's serious. New WhiteHouse.gov website has only English language content. Obama administration made a point of including Spanish on its main website. President Trump made a point during his campaign of using Spanish-speaking immigrants as urging Spanish-speaking immigrants to assimilate by learning to speak English. Hey, if you're here and you're legal, learn to speak English, okay? That's what we do here. Chairman and CEO of advocacy group U.S. English says there are 323 languages spoken in the U.S. and Spanish shouldn't get special treatment. It's unclear whether the English-only site is temporary or final, but White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer hinted that Spanish content could be coming. Okay, Donald Trump will not be El Presidente. No El Presidente here. Judging from the website and the White House launch Friday, the new WhiteHouse.gov, unlike the online home of the Obama administration, you can't find the Spanish content. It would not be the end of the world if Spanish content was on the website, and I don't want to get into that debate, but the thing that strikes me is the fact that, do you think he's serious? We're still waiting for some. Now, if you've watched this show, and I have gone on and on about the mainstream media and the fake news, and would somebody please pay attention to China? Wonder if Trump's serious. China says we'll protect South China Sea sovereignty. China said on Tuesday it had irrefutable sovereignty over the disputed islands in the South China Sea after the White House vowed to defend international territories in the strategic waterways. Whoa, Mad Dog. Mad Dog, they will, the White House vowed to defend international territories in the strategic waterways. White House spokesman Sean Spicer, in his comments on Monday, signaled a sharp departure from years of cautious U.S. handling of China's assertive pursuit of territorial claims in Asia. The U.S. is going to make sure that we protect our interests there, Spicer said. When asked if Trump agreed with the comments by the Secretary of State nominee Rex Tillerson on January 11th, Tillerson said China should not be allowed access to islands it has built in the contested South China Sea. It's a question of those islands are if those islands are in fact in international waters and not part of China proper. Oh yeah, we're going to make sure that we defend international territories from being taken over by one country, Spicer said. Chinese Foreign Minister spokeswoman Yu Chunying, whatever, told a regular news briefing on Tuesday, the United States is not a party to the South China Sea dispute. I'm telling you now, I have yelled at this camera over and over. I mean, on countless days, I have yelled at this camera. Would somebody pay attention to the South China Sea? Would somebody pay attention to these territories? Rex Tillerson, I guess, he got it right. You know, he's saying they shouldn't even be allowed access to the islands in the contested South China Sea. Our allies there and our friends and neighbors there have asked us for a long time, Obama, hey, military base, total military base. It's not a weekend getaway for rich Chinese, industrialists. It's a military base. Okay, the palm trees are a front. It's a military base. And Obama just watched it happen for 8 years. Watch this happen. And you know what? Finally, somebody has stepped up and said, you know what? No, China, no, we're even going to question your right to actually have access to those islands. President Donald Trump to meet with Detroit 3 automakers, moving quickly on his promise to spark job creation in the manufacturing sector. President Donald Trump will meet with the CEOs of Detroit 3 automakers on Tuesday morning at the White House. At his first press briefing Monday, new White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer made a note of Trump's plans to hold a breakfast meeting that's this morning with representatives of Fiat Chrysler, Ford, and General Motors. That's this morning. The meeting should give the auto executives a chance to press their case about jobs they have created in the U.S. in recent years and how they've interconnected their plants in Mexico with U.S. operations. So there's going to be a chance for the automakers to discuss. This is going to be big because Trump's going after NAFTA, okay? He's going after NAFTA next. I like free trade. I like trade. We have to have trade. But this thing of somebody else writing the deal, okay? You may not like how this sounds, but it's time for us to go back to the table, and we've got a president to do it, to say, okay, here's how this works. Okay? And America's going to be first in the deal. So if that upset anybody out there that I believe in exceptionalism in this country, I'm sorry. Tough luck. I'm your host, BKP. When we come back, now I do not want our national viewers to leave us now. I got a message of somebody watching in Delaware this morning. Thank you there. But I do not want our national viewers to leave us, because we're going to talk about some local swamp draining that I think I want you to hear, although you may not know where the county is, but your county may have this little swamp around the corner that you need to drain, and I want you to listen to the swamp we're trying to drain here on FYNTV.com, BKP. Take us to break, and when we come back, we will give a brief update on our DTS Fannin County.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
El Rey and LJ.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and LJ.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
And we're back. I apologize for the black screen. Sometimes the commercial ends. It was like 3 seconds, but they need to know the reason the black screen was because you and I are arguing over Tim Allen, Last Man Standing, and what was the other one? Home Improvement. So they need to know that you and I both were joined in and not paying attention. And we were discussing Tim Allen. What say you, Home Improvement or Last Man Standing? I say Last Man Standing blows anything with Home Improvement away. Okay, that's it. So, all right, our argument's over. I won. I like it like that. Anyhow, no comment from the peanut gallery. Good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP. We are coming to you from, it looks like, the press secretary's room this morning in the White House. 706-889-9700 is my text message number there, or my phone number, and chief@fetchernews.com. Now, this is going to be brief summary, but I want to recap, and for one reason. We have not let this go from last week. We did a series. You can find all of the YouTube videos on our channel, YouTube channel, DTS, Fannin County Drain the Swamp. Now, here's the summary. I'm looking for people to help. And if you want help in your county, because we're not just going to stop in Fannin County, we're working on Fannin County. We got to stay focused, okay? People send me messages from other counties all the time. But I have to stay focused, okay? Because I've only got so much support here. If you want to help, you get in touch with me, and we can start working on other counties. If you want to take the lead in your county, local county, on draining the swamp, maybe there's not. Maybe, you know, I don't want to paint a picture that everything's all, you know, everything's bad out there in your county, because it's not. I mean, there's a lot of great things going on in local county government, and you have a lot of great people in local county government. So I want that to be very clear. You have a lot of great, you may not believe it, but you have a lot of great local judges. You really do. You have great county administrators. Some of these county post commissioners and chairmen, they're very good people. Your planning and zoning, you have, you know, your clerk of court. There's a lot of counties with a lot of good people that are serving the citizens. Did you hear what I said? There's a lot of counties, pay attention, with a lot of good people that are serving the citizens. And that's the key there, serving the citizens. And when they don't serve the citizens that they work for, that's when we need to get involved. Now, if you have a situation in your county and you want to know how to go about it, what to do next, and how to drain that swamp, you get in touch with me, 706-889-9700. I'll help you. I'll just tell you, I won't sleep if I have to. I won't. I'll help you out. It's a promise. Now, Fannin County. I have been very vocal and very clear. I am not pleased with the county attorney situation for the citizens of Fannin County. I don't think the citizens of Fannin County are well represented. I don't think they're represented properly. I know it's probably the same thing, properly, and there's a difference in the way I'm approaching that. And I just would like for the 3 commissioners that are there, your chairman, your post commissioner, Earl Johnson. Now, let's make sure we understand there's a limit of power. Fannin County has a CEO. They have a CEO government, meaning the chairman's the CEO of the county. They are in charge, which is now Stan Helton, of the day-to-day operations. Your post commissioners have limited powers, okay? So before you go take your post commissioners to task on some of these things, they're limited in what they can do. But I'm still going to put it like this. I would like to see the chairman, Stan Helton, the post commissioner, Earl Johnson, and the post commissioner, Larry Joe Sosby, step up and do right by the citizens. And I'm asking for a couple things. One, put your county attorney, whoever you choose that to be, under a service agreement with the county, like other counties do. I have multiple county service agreements with county attorneys and the county, the Board of Commissioners, nowhere to be found in Fannin County. I have asked. I have a direct email from the county attorney saying, hey, we do not have a formal agreement. Wrong, number one. So whoever you do, get a formal agreement for your citizens to see who your county attorney represents. That's number one. Number two, how much does your county attorney charge? Fannin County commissioners, you need to step up to the plate, okay? And you need to tell the citizens what you spend their money for. It is time to be good stewards of their money. You spend $5,708.34 a month on the county attorney, Dawson Associates, Lynn Doss, and you cannot tell the citizens how you arrive at that. The county attorney refuses to tell the citizens. I have multiple open records requests, and the county attorney refuses to tell the citizens how she arrives at that price. Okay? That's number two. We need to know what you get an hour, and the county and the Board of Commissioners need to vote on the county attorney and put a limit per year of spending. Okay? Say, this is the cap. You get so much an hour, and you have a limit a year that you can spend. Outside of that limit in the budget, you got to come back to this board for more money and explain why. That needs to be done immediately. and you need to approve your county attorney. And then your county attorney needs to send itemized bills every month. Lynn Dawson Associates does not itemize their bills. So listen, Mr. Helton, Mr. Sosaby, and Mr. Johnson, commissioners, you have to step up and make this county attorney send itemized statements monthly for her bill. Now, I will tell you my opinion. Everything I've told you is fact. I'm going to tell you my opinion, which I think will turn out to be true. The county attorney does not itemize her bill because my opinion is that would create a problem in when she wants to use the county as a piggy bank. There's no method to the madness of when she's received her checks in the past. I have a stack of checks. Dawson Associates, it is so sporadic on the dates that they get their checks. Now, this is my opinion because God knows they're looking for every reason in the world to defamation. I've already heard the word from the county attorney, so I want to be very careful with this. But it seems to me in the lines of the dates that the checks are cut for the county attorney over the past 20 years, folks, 20 years, that it's much like a piggy bank. So if you get up this morning and you need $5,708.34 from the citizens of Fannin County, you just run over and get a check. Now, sources tell me that they can't itemize. They do not give itemized statements. I understand, and it's been told to me, a source tells me, that the county attorney shows up with a folder. Now, I don't know about 2017 yet. We're checking on that. But the county attorney shows up with a folder every year of 12 invoices. All the invoices say is the date, the month, the vendor number for Dawson Associates, and the amount. So January, so the payroll clerk opens a file and says, okay, next one, boom, prints a check for that amount, staples that to it, and puts it away. So the county attorney knows for an entire year she is not going to itemize her bill at any time. That's my understanding, is in the past, she has not brought a bill in there. If somebody checks today, I will say there's a good possibility you find all the invoices for 2017 already in a folder. Now, so itemize your bill, service agreement with the county, vote on it, and let people know how much you're paying a county attorney. You owe that to the citizens. It's their money, and you serve them. So that needs corrected immediately, whoever you choose as a county attorney. There you go. Now, next on that, the next thing here is I need your help because I want to get the state bar involved. I want to get the JQC involved. I want to get some people involved. I need your help. Now, citizens, it's time to stand up. Quit cheering for Donald Trump. Quit cheering every time you hear him say drain the swamp. If you don't have the nerve to drain your own swamp, don't let me hear you cheer for Donald Trump when he says it again. Don't let me hear you cheer lock her up. Don't let me hear that anymore if you don't have the nerve to step up and drain your own swamp. I will help you. We will work together. We need to be in no fear of our government. Period. You understand? No fear of our government. Period. And I'm telling you, I'm looking you right in the camera. So it's time to step up, not have fear of these people, not have fear to ask for this to be done for the citizens of Fannin County. Now, on December 13th was the last day in 2016 that Bill Simons presided over a commissioners' meeting. On that date, they approved checks for over $4,500. $4,500 is a home rule law that's on the books in Fannin County that a chairman cannot spend over $4,500 without authority. He has to get permission from the Board of Commissioners. He has to have approval to spend over $4,500. Cannot. Up to $4,500, if you go in there and you got a bill for $2,200, he can authorize the check to be cut right then. $45 and over cannot be approved He cannot spend it. He doesn't have the authority by law. So on December 13th, when they approved the spending, there was no check that night in there for $5,708.34 to Dawson Associates. Was not there December 13th. Why not? Why? Why not? On December 14th, that morning, these are facts, that morning on December 14th, Ms. Doss, Mr. Helton, Mr. Sosby called in the county CFO and the county clerk and let this individual know that their services would no longer be needed after January 1st. Okay, fine. But Ms. Doss and Mr. Helton are sitting there. Ms. Doss could have looked over at Mr. Helton and said, hey, while we're together this morning, because Larry Joe Sosby's sitting here. Now pay attention to the common sense, because what they will tell you will not add up. And I want to jump out in front of their moves, okay? They're sitting there that morning because guess who else was there? I was there. I know they were there. I was there. I was there. I was there that morning because they had a reception for Bill. They called me up. I went up. Why not? Free food, right? Buffet line. I was there. So here they set everybody, right? They need 2 approvals for the check. They got the second man, Larry Joe. Bill's getting ready to go upstairs to a reception, right? Why doesn't County Attorney Lynn Doss, say to Stan Helton, because it wouldn't have broke the Sunshine Law, why didn't she say to Chairman-elect, he's not chairman yet, hey, could you and I walk down to Bill's office and get him to approve my January check? So that way he's not concerned that you'll be upset about it and you tell him you're okay with it. Why don't we do that? Now let's just say why not? And why don't we do that? Why don't we do that? Because Larry Joe's sitting here, post commissioner, and Larry Joe, if Bill will cut the check and you say you're okay, then Larry Joe can go into the payroll clerk, the pay clerk's office, and he can put his initials on it, and we have 2 initials and we're good. Hey, bada bing, bada boom, everything's legal. Everything's transparent. Nothing to be hidden. No laws broken, right? Why not? Everybody's there. It could happen. And then we wouldn't be talking about it. But no. No. See, my story on FetchYourNews.com details this. See, when they came, not they, but when the payroll clerk supposedly came to Mr. Simons, the CEO, and said, hey, can we cut this check for Lynn Doss? Has she been paid throughout the year? Yes, she's been paid. Is this January's payment of 2017? Yeah, this is January's payment of 2017. No, I can't say cut the check because I don't want to approve a check over $4,500 that the next commissioner should be approving the next month in his budget, and he can decide how he wants to pay his county attorney and how that works. So Bill says, Simon says, no, I have it in my story, right? So Larry Joe's got to drive all the way back to town to initial a check. I understand that between him and the county attorney, there's a lot more that was said back and forth about this check. Larry Joe tells me in his story, he just got a phone call saying he had to come back and approve some checks. But why didn't he approve them that morning? Why didn't they get it done that morning? Why does the guy got to drive all the way back to town? You know what? I'd have told him, I'm not driving all the way back to town. I was just in town. No, he drives back, initials this check. Here's the bottom line. Check's over $4,500. Second, it's against the law. Third, Earl Johnson says, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know we paid anybody in advance. Anybody in advance. I didn't know there was one person that ever got, or a contract or a service or anything that got paid in advance. Well, guess what? County attorney gets paid in advance all the time. All right? From one year to another. That's not a problem for the county attorney. 20 years been doing it. The piggy bank. The Fannin County piggy bank. So, Earl Johnson said, no, I got no idea about the check. Bill said, I said no about the check. Whoa! Larry Joe initialed the check all by himself. That's against the law. Period. Period. Now, I need your help because we're going to figure out, because that's not okay. And let me tell you, people say, oh, why you got such an axe to grind? Let me tell you something. I sit in the meetings when they did the home rule, and I heard how upset Larry Joe was. I have the video of Larry Joe Sosby being so upset over saying, hey, we've got to stop this chairman from being able to just spend money, because the old limit was $7,500. So Larry Joe was on the bandwagon to push this down. He was right on that bandwagon that Bill Simon should not be allowed to spend over $4,500 without getting it approved right there. Right there. He was on that band. He pushed it. So Lynn Doss wrote the law. Yes, she did. She wrote it. Larry Joe supported it. They all signed it, and it's a law. And as far as I'm concerned, he broke it. Now, I need your help. I need your help. 706-889-9700, 706-889-9700, or chief@veterannews.com. Now, I'm going to leave with this. I showed you the other day. I have the conflict of interest. Let's not forget about the $44,000 or the $46,000 that Harry Doss gets for juvenile indigent defense from Fannin County out of the Fannin County budget. Okay, let's not forget about that. That is a conflict. That is a problem. Has to be stopped. Let's not forget Harry Doss, the probate judge, public defender, $860. I'm doing no teleprompter, nothing. All off the top of my head. $863 or something a month, $847, something like that. $863 a month for being the probate court public defender. And then Dawson Associates is co-counsel with Scott Kiker. We need an investigation into the probate judge's office. That's right. I told you earlier, don't dare come up to tell me again how much you like when Donald Trump says drain the swamp and you cheer, or you were out there saying lock her up and put Hillary in jail, if you don't have the nerve to step up, because it's time to step up and step out and drain your own local swamp. And I will work with you every day, but we have to stop some of this stuff that goes on. We need a full investigation into the probate judge's office up in Fannin County. We need a full investigation into the county attorney. If it goes back 20 years, there needs to be a full investigation of all transactions considering the county attorney and all offices. County attorney, sheriff, county attorney, probate, county attorney, board of commissioners. Anything the county attorney's touched for the county for 20 years needs a thorough investigation. I'm your host, BKP. I'm going to take a break, and then we're going to wrap up. I hope if you're out there and you got a county and you got a situation, get in touch with me, okay? Get in touch with me. Let's drain the swamp together. I'm your host, BKP. I promised I wouldn't get upset or worked up. I didn't get through with that.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
It's a new year, new you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. You know, I want to first thank you for that nice message from Delaware this morning. A viewer from Delaware just sent me a very nice message. Please do not. You may not want to let Joe Biden know that you are watching in Delaware and this morning. But thank you up there. I think it's somewhere between Wilmington and Dover, Delaware this morning. So I had a viewer up there. Nice message. Now, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. If you would like to get involved, okay, sound, okay, whether you're soundboard, sound, audio, video, producing, if you want to learn to produce shows, you have strong computer skills. You have strong computer skills. I'm telling you, we can make it happen, all right? You're a student and, you know, you're going to school in the afternoon and, you know, your mornings are free, you know, get in touch with us. If you're going to school in the morning and you want to do some night, you know, because we broadcast basketball, We do meetings at night. We want to video different city council. Get in touch with me. Whoever, I don't care if it's students, whoever you are. If you want to get involved with FetcherNews.com, you want to be a reporter, a sports reporter, local, state, national. If you want to get involved, FetcherNews.com, FYNTV. You get in touch with me, 706-889-9700, or chief@FetcherNews.com. Now, how many of you love this is great, and this is good. This is one of those ones you could have started. I could have started the show with this, but I like wrapping up this way. Schumer told Cotton, this is awesome, man. I mean, they say the videos out there of Cotton. Schumer told, this is concerning Pompeo's nomination, and Cotton thought, I guess I'll just sum it up. Cotton thought that Pompeo should have been approved on Inauguration Day, okay? And Schumer makes a major mistake. Schumer told Cotton that the Senate had never previously confirmed a CIA director on Inauguration Day. And if Cotton had been around 8 years earlier, this cracks me up. If Cotton had been around 8 years earlier, he'd know that Republicans didn't extend that courtesy for incoming President Barack Obama. Cotton said, 8 years ago, I was getting my ass shot at in Afghanistan. Cotton snapped. He's an Afghan. Hey, I was getting my ass shot off, by the way, if I was around. You forget where I was 8 years ago? I was getting my ass shot at in Afghanistan, Cotton snapped. So don't talk to me about where I was 8 years ago. I got to give it to Arkansas Senator Cotton for just letting him have it. 8 years ago, Chuck Schumer, these elites. First of all, I want to make sure, we're all on the same page. I want all of our viewers out there to do not get nervous when you see Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi in the room with Donald Trump. My opinion is, and we're going to see this play out, but my opinion is those pictures are to continue to make a fool of them. And that's my opinion, okay? Do not, I'm asking you nicely, do not get concerned, okay, when you see pictures of Donald Trump and you see Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, okay? Don't do it. Don't get upset. Because no matter who's in the picture, we cannot take you through the next 4 years of helping you out, okay? Every time you get concerned, here's the thing you stick with for 4 years. Donald Trump's in charge. Donald Trump's a leader. Donald Trump's your president. Okay? Now stay with that. Now, you put Nancy Pelosi here in my picture. Oh, what an image. What a thought. And Chuck Schumer here. You ready? Donald Trump's in charge. Donald Trump's a leader. Donald Trump's your president. Okay? You even spread the table out and you get a couple more of them in here. No matter what you see, Donald Trump's in charge, Donald Trump's a leader, and Donald Trump's your president. Don't worry. Don't worry. Do not worry. Don't fear the optic of what you see. Because Donald Trump was sitting there, and the media made, you know what? The media made all over. You remember, Donald Trump wins on Tuesday. Thursday he's at the White House, and you know, he's sitting in that chair next to Obama looking over here saying, you know, how long I have to do this? Hey, it was very nice. He was nice. Oh, yes, he's a great guy. Brilliant guy. Very nice guy. I really like the president. The president was very gracious. He's a smart guy. I want to work with him all I can. Blah, 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 right? Who fell for any of that? Okay? Now, all of the transition, all Donald Trump said is the Obama administration followed through. The Obama administration followed through with the proper transition that's supposed to take place by law. And they did that. That's what he said. Thank you. He did it. Yeah, they did a great job at transferring over to our administration. But then Donald Trump stood within 15 feet, if that much, from the President of the United States or former President of the United States and said, hey, everything this guy over here to the left, it's over. You got it? Now, let me tell you what we're going to do. Forget he existed. Total, forget this guy exists. So, I don't want you for the next, I want you to be concerned, and we will look at things Donald Trump does. And I have not been on board and not totally on board with every cabinet pick he has made. But Trump is winning over union leaders, but he's not going to succumb to union policy and procedure and do it their way. Okay? I'm serious. He will not go their way. They will come to him. And that's what's happening. So yesterday we seen the meeting with the union leaders. We will see the wall being built. That will start happening. Let me check Twitter just to make sure that we have not missed anything on Twitter this morning with Donald Trump, the real Donald Trump, right? Let's see if we have anything new. We're loading that up. I want to check the Twitter feed. Don't have anything new. He put out 3 hours ago, we'll be meeting at 9 o'clock with top automotive executives concerning jobs in America. I want new plants to be built here for cars sold here. Okay, so he wants new plants, so the regulations have to go. All right. I just got a message. I'm like, what do they say? Squirrel, right, Lonnie? I got a message and I had to look over at the message, so I'll get that during the break. I'll look at the message during the break. So, folks, we've had a really fun morning. I've enjoyed this so much. Theresa May, Prime Minister Theresa May, will be here Friday to meet, with President Trump. The media is wanting to make more than actually exist out of General Flynn's phone conversations with his counterpart in Russia. Okay, want to make more out of that than there actually is. There's no more to see there than what Flynn is telling you on particularly the. Wait a minute. I just got something in here that just looks like it just came out, and I'm going to go to that. We talked this morning. Conservative Colorado judge emerges as a top contender to fill Scalia's Supreme Court seat. This just came out. This just came out. I just seen this post. Conservative Colorado judge emerges as top contender to fill Scalia's Supreme Court seat. Judge Neil M. Gorsuch, a highly regarded conservative jurist, best known for upholding religious liberty rights in the legal battle over Obamacare, has emerged as the leading contender for President Trump's first Supreme Court nominee. Gorsuch, 49. You realize the impact that can make on the court. Lifelong appointment. Was among 21 potential high court candidates circulated by Trump's team during the campaign, but his stock has been rising lately as several admirers and supporters have been named to positions in the Trump administration. He currently serves on the U.S. 10th Circuit Court of Appeals in Denver, a former clerk for Justice Brian White, also a Colorado native, and Justice Anthony M. Kennedy. He served in George W. Bush administration's Justice Department. Encourage supporters, see a jurist who has strong academic credentials, a gift for clear writing, and a devotion to deciding cases based on the original meaning of the Constitution and the text of statutes, as did the late Justice Antonin Scalia. So, could it be possible that if he appoints this guy, we got to look through this, all right? But he's known to decide cases based on the original, we keep it close in hand, meaning of the Constitution and the text of statutes. Well, that could be unheard of. If this happens, and if this person turns out to be the conservative, strong conservative that Trump promised you, what will they say next? I mean, he is a New York liberal. He's a Democrat. He's really a Democrat. He's really a Schumer, Pelosi kind of guy. And we're all being taken. Remember those articles? We are all being taken. Executive actions, business first, America first, growing the economy, getting rid of regulations, hiring freeze in the government with the exception of military. Ed says he thinks we can cut 75% of regulations, and he wants massive cuts in these employees in these departments. Boy, we got the wool pulled over our eyes on this one if this continues, didn't we? Those conservatives out there, because everything Donald Trump does, they find a reason to say that he's not a conservative. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We come back, I might tell you why I think he could be a conservative. Lonnie, take us a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Elgin.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
out. Local government, county, city, state, whatever it is, wherever you're at, and you send it to chief@fetchyournews.com, and you just say, opinion piece for consideration, we'll put it in our opinion section. You have this crazy thing called the opinion section. We'll put it right in there. Now, let me get back to George's short takes before I got sidetracked. George has been writing these short takes for years. He calls them short takes, and we post them under the opinion section. And I get a lot of messages about his short takes. Some people don't like some of them. They let me know what they think of George's short takes. But they read them. Some, they love George's short takes. But all that put together, short takes with George at 10:30. He does an hour a day at 10:30. Short takes with George. He will be in here. It's a Katy Sissine show in exactly 5 minutes. The Indoctrination of the American Nation, and then short takes with George. And then I will be back tomorrow morning. Last night I went out to the Gilmer Park and Rec. We are streaming those live games. It's really enjoyable. I did 3 live games, 6, 7, and 8. Wasn't as bad as Saturday. Saturday we did 12 or 13 games in a row, but the night games throughout the week are 3, and it's not that bad on us. But we do the Gilmer Park and Rec games live on FYN TV. We got the Fannin County Board of Commissioners meeting tonight. Gilmer County Tea Party, the Tea Party of Gilmer County, has a lunch meeting over here at El Rey's at 12 o'clock. That's the Tea Party of Gilmer County. I think the Tea Party of Fannin County, oh, I got a message. I'm going to see if I can find this. Stay with me, okay? Let me do this. The February meeting, I just got this. I'm going to try to put this out because I like my good friends up there. Fannin County Tea Party Patriots, February 2nd at the Senior Center, okay? Their meeting will be 6 o'clock at the Senior Center up there, and we'll have more details for that. So I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. If you'd like to get involved with what we have going on here, if you'd like to join Team FYN Sports, if you'd like to be a reporter, if you would like to get involved in producing shows, if you would like to get involved in audio, video, any way whatsoever, covering state, national, you get in touch with me. I'm your host, BKP. Stay tuned for the Katy Sissine Show. I'll be back tomorrow morning, and I'm for sure I'll have something to say. And I know you know that too. I'll have something to say tomorrow. Take us out of here, sir. Katy Sissine, the Indoctrination of the American Nation, right after these messages.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Hello, thank you for tuning in to FYNTV.com. This is the Katy Sissine Show, and I'm your host, Katy Sissine. So it's a very exciting week after the inauguration of President Trump for myself and my fellow conservatives. This is a red state, so I do know many more conservatives than liberals, thankfully. That's actually very convenient, especially for the show today, because we're going to have another caller. And he's going to tell you a little bit about his opinion on Mr. Trump. Now, as you know, there were some violent protests, and we want to get his word on that. And there's also a women's march the day after the inauguration and the protests and everything about marching to promote the inclusion of minorities, the LGBTQ, the Muslims, etc., other minorities. And my question is, are they even accomplishing anything? So I've got David here on the line. Hey, David, can you hear me?
Yes, hey.
Great. This is David from Woodstock, Georgia. He is a proud Trump supporter, right?
Yes, I am.
When did you begin to support Trump? Because I remember you were supporting Trump long before I was. I mean, was this, you know, in the primaries when you knew he was your candidate, or when you first heard he was going to run?
I've always been a fan of Donald Trump. I followed him when he was doing his TV show, And I know he had talked about running in 2012, and I always thought it'd be something that would help our country to have someone that wasn't your typical politician, trying to run for office. And I always felt like he would have a good chance because he's always been successful in business and everything he's done. So I was really happy when he decided to run, but I still kept an open mind, and I looked at all the candidates, and I would say him and Ted Cruz were probably my top two. But I really made the full commitment to Trump probably around January of this past year. And then I went to the Trump rally in Atlanta, and that sealed the deal. I was 100% on board.
Great. So for about a year now.
Yep, about a year.
You're a true fan. I wouldn't call you a bandwagoner. Yeah, it took me a little bit longer than that, I must admit. And Mr. David here definitely helped convince me that this is the correct way, that this is the right direction we need to be going in. And I thank you, David, for that. Just don't let it go to your head. So what would you like to say to those protesters out there who violently protested the Trump inauguration instead of supporting him for their own country? And let's bear in mind that the protests in 2008 and 2012 against Obama did not get violent like this. So what do you have to say to those people?
I would say just stop. I mean, they're not accomplishing anything by turning violent and bashing windows and lighting cars on fire in the streets. I mean, that's just committing crimes. I mean, that's not even a protest at that point. So
right.
While I do respect people's right to protest peacefully, I think we could all look. We just had MLK Day this past week. I think everyone should use him as an example on how to protest the correct way to get things done.
Yeah, great point there. You're totally right.
Yeah, and I mean, he didn't associate with anyone if they used violence. So, and they actually accomplished their goals. And I would say, I mean, they're basically committing felonies out there, bashing windows in, and it makes, I think that's one of the reasons Trump actually won the election, is because people were tired of seeing these riots and the lawlessness and the lack of law and order, and President Obama jumping to conclusions on so many different controversial issues like Ferguson and Baltimore, the Baltimore case and things like that, that he would jump to conclusions and basically fuel up his base to get violent, and it turned out that he was wrong on so many of these cases. So I think everyone just needs to take a deep breath and relax, and if you don't like something he does actually once he's actually passing laws and signing off on things, that's fine to protest that. But I mean, the man hasn't even, he hasn't even been in office a week, and
they're already blaming him. They're already blaming him for everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, and he hasn't done anything yet. So
now we've got this. Yeah, now we've got this women's march going on at the Capitol, and marching for the inclusion of minorities and everything like that. Now, what's the point of this? I mean, aren't we past this already? I mean, have we not deemed every?
It's interesting because I have not seen a Republican candidate, especially in my lifetime, but even my parents would probably agree with this, since Nixon passing the affirmative action laws. I haven't seen a Republican be so outspoken in favor of helping the minorities in the inner cities and LGBT rights and all that. So I don't know what they're trying to say about Donald Trump, who's on their side of the argument, and they're protesting him, acting like he's going to take away their rights. And he's been very outspoken. He's laid out a plan for a new deal for Black Americans, and I mean, he really wants to help. He wants to be the president for all people, regardless of if you're gay, straight,
Right.
transgender, it doesn't matter to him. So I don't know what their argument is on
Right. It's all about being an American citizen. To him, if you're an American citizen, you are in the same boat. We are on the same team. And it's like the liberals can't come to terms with this. They're so stuck in the notion that America needs to be saving the world. And what they're forgetting is that we need to protect our own nation first. How do you feel about this? Are they afraid of nationalism? Are they afraid that, what's up with that? I just don't.
Well, I would say the term nationalism has been kind of skewed by the liberal media, and just liberals in general have tied nationalism to the KKK and white nationalist groups that are violent, and that's the actual definition of nationalism is not that. I mean, it's having pride in your country, and I think that's what Donald Trump is bringing. He wants to help fix our problems before spending trillions of dollars on fixing other countries' issues, and he's stated multiple times he doesn't want to nation build. He doesn't want to go into wars over, political wars, basically, like we politicize wars. The war in Iraq got politicized. He wants to, fix our country, get our jobs back, and he hasn't even been in office a week, and he already has companies wanting to, invest in America and bring jobs back here. And I think that's the form of nationalism that he is using. And I don't know why they would be afraid of that, but it just doesn't make sense to me, because it's more like a patriotism thing, I think, is the way Donald Trump looks at it.
Right. So I really hope that people who are protesting Trump and who aren't supporting him and who are bashing him without anything to back that up, I really hope that they look back on what they're doing now, and they maybe feel a little bit of remorse, and that they realize that Trump is looking out for them, and that they appreciate that, because at the end of the day, we really do need to protect our nation and defend our nation and those who are within it to the utmost ability, to ensure our own individual security of our closest friends and our closest family. And maybe that's selfish, but that's just the way it's been for centuries, and I don't see it changing. So I think it's just about, we need to make people understand that nationalism is a good thing, and they have just demonized the term. So anyway, David, I just want to thank you for calling in on the show today, and we hope you stay tuned in, and I hope you have a great day.
Alrighty, thank you. Yeah, anytime. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Hope to have you back on the show soon.
Alrighty, thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
So we've had a few callers already. There's a pretty common consensus that the protests are pointless. They're not accomplishing anything. And David brought up a really good point by stating that, we just had MLK Day. And yet the same people who admire and idolize MLK are out there violently protesting against Trump, something that MLK would never associate himself with. So there's so much hypocrisy, and I always talk about the incongruencies of the Liberal Party, and that goes to show a great example of one of them. We shouldn't have people, violently protesting who support people who stood for the exact opposite, such as these protesters out there who we're just acting juvenile during the inauguration, and when they should have been following the parade, and they should have been supporting their new commander-in-chief who's going to lead their nation. I mean, I don't know what we call it. We're calling it like a nation divided, like we are now a nation divided, but it doesn't have to be that way. I think everyone wants to feel like, I think it all comes down to feeling like you believe in something and stand for something. And people have forgotten that they can believe in America and they can believe in their nation. Everyone's gotten so caught up in believing in the whole world unified as one. and one system of government and one system of judgment that the UN has manifested. But what they need to remember for their own safety is that nationalism is a good thing, and they should be proud of their nation, and they should want to support their nation first and foremost. And like I said to David, in order to protect their closest family and friends. Now, moving on, I don't know how we're doing on timing at the moment. It looks like we're about to go to a close. Now, we're going to go into a slightly new topic here. You know, Obama has left the office with a high approval rating. To me, this is very surprising. He's leaving with a comparably high approval rating. And I just, you know, with all the lack of progress concerning ISIS and with the failure of the Affordable Care Act, I don't understand how he's leaving office with a high approval rating. Well, I didn't. So then I began to research, and I started to come to some conclusions and some very odd facts here. So we're going to go over those as soon as we return on the Katy Sissine Show on FYNTV.com. And you can email me at Katy@FYNTV and follow me on Twitter at Katy. You can follow me on Twitter at KatyFYNTV and email me at Katy@FetcherNews.com. Thank you, and stay tuned in.
It's a new year, new you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hello, welcome back to the Katy Sissine Show. I'm your host, Katy Sissine, and we're going to take another call here from another Trump supporter, and we are going to see how he feels about the election, the protesters, and also we're going to get into a new topic, Obama's high approval rating. On his way out of office, his comparably high approval rating. So here's Mike from Woodstock, a Trump supporter. Hi, Mike, how are you doing today?
Doing great, Katie. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, anytime, just call in. We also have t-shirts to give out to our most educated guests. So depending on how you do, we might be able to give you a free t-shirt.
That would be great.
All right, well, we always appreciate your enthusiasm. So I just want to ask you a couple of questions now. I know you're a Trump supporter, and you're originally from Pennsylvania. Have you always been conservative?
No, I was probably in my younger years, I was probably more Democratic leaning, but as you get older and mature, you kind of see that the liberal agenda just really doesn't help people. That I'm a business owner, and just the liberal policies just don't help small business owners.
Right. Yes, I forgot to say Mike is a small business owner of what's the name? It's Atlanta Office Source Furniture, right?
Easy Office Furniture, Marietta, Georgia.
Yes, Easy Office Furniture, Marietta, Georgia, located off of Delk Road.
1095 Cobb Parkway South.
Oh, Cobb Parkway.
Right.
Easy
right south of the Big Chicken.
Right, so for any of your office furniture needs, you can contact Mr. Mike Burns at Easy Office Furniture. They've also got a Facebook page you can follow. They've got the best of the best for your office, and just your personal office or your workspace, and at great prices. It's gently used office and furniture, office furniture. So anyway, so as a small business owner, Mike, you definitely feel that Trump's presidency will benefit you, and in what way? The healthcare, right? The healthcare is the main factor.
Healthcare is very important. That's a very important topic to me. Being a small business owner, I have to carry my own healthcare insurance. Prior to the enactment of the ACA, Obamacare, my family was paying about $400 a month with Blue Cross Blue Shield. It was a very good plan. We could see all the doctors we wanted to see. My youngest daughter, she has seen the same doctor since the day she was born, and my deductible was $5,000, which is manageable in case something really, really bad happened. But after Obamacare, my premium went up to over $1,000, and my deductible was $12,000.
Wow.
Which is not manageable. It really puts a strain on the family finances, and unable to provide my employees with insurance because it's so expensive, and that's hard to get good employees because a lot of them are looking for health care benefits.
Right. I can't even imagine, and that's a huge issue. So I like that we have a small business owner to speak on the show for those viewers out there who are young adults like myself who have not experienced anything like that firsthand, and how it really does affect a family, and it affects small businesses, which is essential to capitalism and capitalism flourishing, and which makes this nation what it is. So I was wondering about there's a common consensus of the protesters. I had a few callers on the last show, and today you told me that they weren't accomplishing anything. Now, do you remember any violent protesting against Obama in 2008 and 2012 by conservatives, or was it peaceful?
I definitely do not recall anything like that. As a conservative, was not happy about his election, but in 2008, he had a good message, and he had both the House and the Senate, and he had a mandate to get some stuff done. And I think that I think he was inexperienced as a politician and as operating a country, and I think that he really had a chance to get some good stuff done if he would have worked with the other side, but he chose just to work with just the Democrats and leave the Republicans out, and that resulted in the Tea Party, becoming popular, and then in 2010 we took over the Congress, and then 2012 we took over the Senate and basically shut down his progressive agenda.
Right. It seems, if anything, Obama maybe isn't, he should have had more skills in business, which is what we get now with Trump. We don't have the philanthropist, peace, love, and happiness Obama in office anymore. Now we want somebody who's going to take care of some business and protect our country and put our nation first. And I think people got tired of Obama telling everyone that we could save the world, but really nothing was getting done. I mean, that's a very vague way to look at it, but I don't know. And then he leaves office with this skyrocketed approval rating after basically the ACA has failed majority of Americans, including you as a small business owner. I mean, how do you feel about this relatively high approval rating? How did this happen? How did his rating spike like this? In the last month, I think it's increased by over 10%.
There's no logical explanation for that. In every, from my point of view, he's failed in almost every area that's important to us. The economy never exceeded 3% GDP. Our standing in the world, Russia's, China are all running all over us. The Iran deal is terrible. I actually think it's just, he seems like a nice guy and a nice family, and I think people feel sorry for him. And it's not anything he's done as president to gain that approval rating. I think it's just
right.
Cult of personality.
Right, and I think it was also a lot of dumb luck. After some research, it seems that he was accredited for a feat that he did not achieve, as Bill Clinton was accredited for economic prosperity because he just so happened to be the president during the boom of technology, which I don't remember, which you remember. Bill Clinton was accredited for improving the technology, but he just so happened to be president during a time of economic boom and the boom of technology. So that's what's happened with Obama. Except with Obama, it's with crime. Now, there's been a paradigm shift. There was a paradigm shift in the rate of crime and incarcerations, and it was a decrease in the number of incarcerations and rates of crime. But it was merely a paradigm shift that would happen naturally based off of history. But Obama has, I believe, received credit for this. And do you think that he took any part in lowering the rates of crime? If anything, I think he exacerbated the rates of crime by essentially supporting organizations that further divide the people, such as Black Lives Matter. What do you think about this? Do you think he was just falsely accredited for things he did not do?
I would have to agree with that statement. I don't think he's done anything to help race relations. I think he could have, I think that's another failure on his part, that he kind of leaves Trump with this very divided country racially after we've made progress for many decades.
Right, and then we have this Women's March today, which the Women's March at the Capitol, and they are supposedly marching for the inclusion of minorities, Muslims, etc. I mean, to me, these people are just wasting their energy. They're not accomplishing anything. I mean, what they're marching for, the federal government has already supported. So I think there's a lot of liberal corruption going on behind the scenes that's funding these kind of movements that further divide the people. What do you think about this Women's March today? Or the day after the inauguration?
I saw the pictures this morning, and it looked like there was a lot of people there. I'm not sure what their purpose is. I did hear that they had excluded some conservative groups of women.
Oh, wow.
That would endorse, pro-choice positions and any positions that they don't agree with. I think that's really the liberal left right now is very anti-free speech unless you agree with them. And I also saw that Ashley Judd was on stage with a microphone in her hand, making some very disturbing comments about Trump that really can't be repeated on air.
Oh no! Was it insinuating misogynistic behavior, racism, all this stuff that's totally not proven and unrelated? All the bashing that we've heard in the media.
All that plus getting personal.
And they try to say that Trump was inciting anger. Those same people try to say Trump was inciting anger when they're out violently protesting on the day of inauguration, and the day after inauguration they have this big march and they exclude people from it who support Trump. Now tell me how that's inclusion. Anyway, Mike, I really want to thank you for being on the show today, and I hope to have you back very shortly.
Okay, do I get a t-shirt?
Yes. What color?
Gray.
Gray. We don't have gray. Green, purple.
Green's good.
Okay, green is good. I agree, and that leads me right into our next topic, the legalization of marijuana.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you calling in.
Right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, it's time to wrap up episode 2. Yeah, so the Women's March, the protest. Now, if you're really in favor of inclusion, and if you're a liberal and you're really in favor of inclusion, then why in the world are you excluding groups of conservatives? As Mike from Woodstock just stated, Trump supporter. Now, we Trump supporters, we don't want to persuade you to change your beliefs. We just want you to see that it is okay to support your nation and to stand with the people of your nation. Because united we stand, divided we fall. And, I think that this divide within the nation, exemplified by the Women's March, is just simply a ploy, and it's a setup to divide our nation even further for others' ulterior motives. And as others, I'm talking about maybe Mr. George Soros, who funded $25 million into the Hillary Clinton campaign. Anyway, that's it for today. I want to thank y'all for tuning into the Katy Sissine Show, addressing the indoctrination of the nation. As you can see, there's rampant indoctrination upon the people by the liberal party that we really need to address here, and that's what we're doing. And remember, you can call in, message me about calling in, and you can tweet me at Katy FINTV, and also email me about comments, suggestions, what you'd like to hear at katy@fetchyournews.com. Thank you. I hope you all have a great day. See you tomorrow.
Well, welcome back to FetchYourNews.com, North Georgia's only live internet talk show. I'm George McClellan. You've stumbled into my little hour if you hung on after Katy Sissine. And we're going to continue the discussion of the politics surrounding the Trump administration and the little offshoots that go with that have excited the media. The former Clinton News Network, who has lost their main reason to be, the Clinton Foundation, the Clinton Hillary, is now the crappy news network. They are in complete freefall, and they're hysterical about what's going on. And to listen to them, you'd think that the whole world is coming to an end. Press Secretary Spicer, one of the first questions an AP reporter asked, was it AP? It might have been CNN reporter asked if he was going to be truthful and tell the truth as representative. You know, he could have had that opportunity to say, well, that's a very good question. I am wondering why no one ever asked Josh Earnest that question, or the two press secretaries who preceded him in the Obama administration. That would have flattened it out, I think. But in any event, Spicer gave a long, rambling answer that didn't need to be given. And what he's trying to say is that Trump has reset the parameters of reporting to the media. Ben Smith, who is the editor-in-chief of BuzzFeed, he said, and not at the press briefing, but he said, we need to develop new rules that adhere to the core values of honesty and respect for our audience. Isn't that a unique idea? I wonder why they haven't been doing it for a long time, especially the crappy news network. He wrote that in the New York Times. I'm quoting from the New York Times here. Continuing, that means debunking falsehoods. Well, that's fake news, isn't it? And being transparent with readers about our process of reporting. Sometimes it means publishing unverified information, fake news, in a transparent way that informs our users. What's he going to say? This is a transparent news report, but it could be fake news. Take your pick as a heading for any article. Its impact and why we trust or distrust it. Well, what they're saying is that they want us to accept their fake news to be acceptable over the facts. Trump's not going to have it. That's why he's on the attack now over piddling trivia. Piddling trivia. The head count at that inauguration. Who cares? It's 4 days later now, and I don't really care. I don't care. Chris Wallace of Fox News cares, his Sunday News show, and I mentioned this. He had two pictures, one of Obama's, the crowds at Obama's inauguration, and one of the crowds purportedly of Trump's inauguration. Only problem was the Obama inauguration, the photograph, same photograph taken, was taken when he was delivering his speech. At Trump's, it was taken 3 or 4 hours earlier when people hadn't even arrived yet. And then he tried to make a comparison. So I'm concerned about Chris Wallace going to the dark side, and I read that yesterday to you. So anyway, speaking of the mall, we had this awful feminist march yesterday. Why do I call it awful? Let me read to you what I have. I had to put my notes down from my mind on paper. As the shocking photo, if you've seen these photographs, you'll know what I'm talking about. As the shocking photos of the women's D.C. march following Trump's inauguration are now being published to the internet and to news, it is apparent that modern women are apparently much filthier than modern men in their thoughts, words, and probably their deeds. I've never been accused of being a prude, but I'm totally shocked by the crudest cultural sickness I have read on the signs those women carried and during their preambulation along the streets of our nation's capital. More shocking was the recorded vocals of their chants and demands. They're so focused on female body parts. Ashley Judd, if you listen to her crude screaming remarks on the speaker's dais, has for me descended into the abysmal depths of obscurity as a non-person. But I'm sure she doesn't really care. But I do. She was once my hero. Sweet, lovely young lady, a great actress, played the victim because she looked like a victim. She's not a victim anymore, but she's screaming victimhood. What we see signals the loss of whatever it was of the sacred place women once held in American society. These mall creatures are the very personification of the sick swamp dwellers from the primordial muck of Paleolithic America, once the habituates of red light districts. And what was their message? I don't know, really. Everything had to do with sex. Apparently most of them haven't encountered Muslim men yet who have a totally different take on what an infidel woman's role in his society should be. These women had better prepare themselves and their daughters to spend some long hours daily on their backs and not at times of their choosing. It might be suggested that a suitable occupation for these bedeviled creatures on the mall, given their desire to publicly flaunt their genitalia, a career in a brothel. I'm just saying. This madness is even spread abroad. In Spain, a known nutter of the feminist movement at a grand opening of a wax museum, half naked, immediately walked up to the new Trump wax figure on display and grasped its crotch. Now that's a wax figure. Do you think it had anything there between its legs? I don't think so. That must have been a thrill. Whoa, but what a statement. One of President Trump's promises was to return respect for law enforcement. It should also include a return of self-respect. Primarily, that woman's march on D.C. is the cutting edge of George Soros's plan to foment anarchy on American streets. These women are nothing but chattel to Soros's plans and will be destroyed as useful idiots they are when he's done with them. Even the fingerprints of Islam has revealed themselves in the preparation for that woman's march. This march was pre-planned and prepaid for by the George Soros groups. Now, there were no Democrats there at that. Where were the Democrats? They were in Florida having a conference trying to figure out who's going to be, trying to figure out who they want to be as the next chairman of the DNC. More on that later. That was awful. So the Democrats missed a perfect opportunity to be in that million woman march. Also, the small crimes. Now, if Trump wants respect for law enforcement, he ought to pull a Giuliani. The small crimes committed on the streets must be punished, not by a wink and a nod or a slap on the hand, but by real penalties, including some time in the slammer. Burning the American flag, for example, has been defended by the U.S. Supreme Court as an exercise in free speech. But arson hasn't. And that applies to trash cans and tires that they may want to burn. Police departments need to know that they can now apply a vigorous campaign against street hooliganism simply to protect the righteous people, children, and the elderly, so that they too can walk the streets without fear of being attacked or humiliated by some incoherent leftist screaming obscenities and abuses in their face. All of this simply because Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump. This was not an anti-Trump march. This was a pro-liberalism march. This is what they want us to look forward to and get Democrats back in power. Hillary tweeted, "Thanks for standing, speaking, and marching for our values at the Women's March. Important as ever, truly. I truly believe we're always stronger together." That was a quote. Well, I'd be interested in knowing exactly what she means by our values. It all had to do with vaginas and ability to use it when and where they want without consequence. That's what it was all about. Of course, that apparently is Hillary's mantra anyway. I don't think she really knows, but her personal misery is being best fed by her ability to tweet. She does just the opposite of Donald Trump. Donald Trump uses it as a weapon against people who diss him and say wrong things about him. Hillary is not out of the legal woods yet either. Jason Chaffetz, Republican from Utah, and chairman of the House Oversight Committee, said the investigation of her activities could take years. Take years. In political speak, that means not until the lawyers have drained her of what's left of her fortune. She might have to return to redneck Arkansas to live and go on welfare. One wonders, is she, as a former First Lady, still entitled to Secret Service protection while she's in prison? I'm just asking. I don't know. Maybe. Now, another article on the Women's March I'd like to share with you. Those were my thoughts. An estimated 1 million people in the United States and in cities and countries around the world turned out for the feminist protest against the new president, allegedly against the new president. That was their excuse. Far too many in strange-looking hats while carrying signs that referenced female anatomy in other than medical terms. I can guarantee you I was not the only one who saw that. The female population of the United States was listed in 2014, 3 years ago, as 162 million. If one subtracts 62 million for children and others, it means that 100 million women chose not to attend the marches or ignore them or didn't even know they took place. More important than this is the fact that more than 2 months before American women en masse had marched to the polls, where white women voted against Hillary Clinton 53% to 47%, and the feminist movement just did not take that well. You know who's not at the feminist movement? Pro-lifers. They were specifically excluded. You cannot come here. And if they had showed up with their signs, there would have been fights in the street. White women sold out the sisterhood and the world, said one Slate writer who blamed this on self-loathing, hypocrisy, and of course a racist view of the world. And how in the world did this get to be racist? There were black women there doing their thing, white women there doing their thing, white feminists, I don't know. because the white women had fallen down in their duty to stand with the non-white, the disabled, and those of gender fluidity. Oh, what a new word that is, gender fluidity, which permits a man to go into a woman's bathroom or a boy in high school to go into the woman's shower because he has gender fluidity. I love that. I love that. We're dealing with morons out here. I mean, absolutely, we're dealing with a sick society. And the sick society, this is not democracy. This is anarchy. We're on the edge of anarchy. Gender fluidity in the battle against white male establishment that has been oppressing them all. In actual fact, most of them had voted against economic stagnation, which had devastated working class families and left many white males without college degrees in states of economic and psychic despair. These female backers agreed Trump was gross. Susan Cheria reports, but were troubled still more by the size of government issues, finding health care too big and the state too intrusive. They were vexed most of all by immigration, terrorism, and the impact of trade upon jobs. None of these concerns seemed to exist among the feminists at the mall. And they assumed women focused on their sets of issues outside the realms of most people's problems or our current level of popular thought. Their issues included the first woman president. Well, it ain't Hillary. It's never going to be. Only 31% of Americans thought it a critical issue. Transgender bathrooms or anti-hate legislation. And of course, unrestricted and largely guilt-free abortion, though polls for the past 30 years have shown the public, women included, were divided about it. So intent were they on purity of this particular matter that they ordered several contingents of pro-life feminists out of their march and out of their movement. And it's time for me to pay for this show. So if you like what you hear, you want to call me, you can call me at 706-889-9700 or 706-889-5825, which is my phone. So we'll see you on the other side.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
El Rey and Ellijay. El Rey Mexican Restaurant. Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings. Great prices, friendly service, and delicious Mexican cuisine. Patio dining available. Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1. Eat in or take away. Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
It's a new year, new you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Well, welcome back, fun lovers. This is George McClellan at FetchingNews.com, North Georgia's only live internet talk show. I left off, we're talking about the Million Woman March, or how many ever there were there. Then I left off, their intent was on purity of the particular matter, the women's, the feminists, that they ordered several contingents of pro-life feminists out of the march and out of their movement. Now, this demonstrated the inherent fatal flaw, which is that it claims to speak for all women while denouncing, attacking, and excluding women who differ from them upon anything, and while attacking men. So that is a failed idea, and for that reason, we can laugh at it now. We can laugh at it. The idea is that it can both have universal appeal and complete ideological conformity across a wide and diverse set of issues. And that is the paradox. And it is a flaw that it cannot see around, get around, or even admit is a problem. The view is right. All women should see it. It seems to be their one answer, which is not a solution at all. So they prohibit women who don't agree with them, and so they lose their feminist ideals. And they have not, like that silly woman who started the feminist movement, Gloria Allred's, she got on the Muslim bandwagon and tried to include them as part of the dissent. No, Muslim women are not in that dissent. They march to a different plan, not the feminist plan. They're not feminists. They're Muslim women, and they do what they're damn well told by their husbands or their fathers or their brothers, the men in their lives. Where do these women come off thinking that they can control that and make the rest of America accept it? I don't think that they can do that. The dream of female solidarity is, and it has always been, a myth. In the New York Times, a woman named Sharia tells us, who writes editorials, seems to think otherwise. She says, sisterhood, as real sisterhood tends to be, turned out to be riddled with complications. The biggest complication of all is that just as a rigid and extreme ideological feminist movement is emerging as the prime driving force in liberal politics, the women's movement as it began and was once called earlier, is losing its grip upon women generally. Its ability to speak for them, to them, or about them, or understand them at all. And there's the crux of the whole thing. So we have two women's movement, one pro-life, and mostly voted for Trump. 52% did I say? And then there's feminists who, they don't know what they want except they want it for free. And we can't, you know, that is not an option that we can deal with and make anybody happy. Now those notes came from a woman named Naomi Emery, a Washington Examiner columnist. She contributed that to the Weekly. She's a contributor to the Weekly Standard, and she authored a book called Great Expectations. I do like to give credit where credit is due when I don't write it. I've written my own. I got one more. New trends. The DNC, that's the Democratic National Committee. And I mentioned no Democrats showed up this Million Woman March. Why? Well, they were all down holding job interviews. Now, the job interviews, when you listen to them, you can listen to them on the internet. There's one woman there named Sally Boynton Brown. Sally Boynton Brown. I don't know a lot about her, but she wants to be the DNC chair. And she's a white woman. And all she did was diss white people. And she wanted us to give the entire political left the right to speak in place of what white people think. So there's no place for white people anymore, if she's right, in the Democratic Party. That could be because the biggest contender, according to what I read this morning, is that Ellison, that congressman from Wisconsin, who's a Muslim. A Muslim. Well, I can tell you, if the Democrats put a Muslim as their DNC chair, kiss the Democrat Party goodbye. They have to change their name. They can no longer be a Democrat Party. It's simply not there. It doesn't work. Who wants to listen to that? Who wants to be berated by people telling us that we need to accept Sharia law, we need to put women in hijabs, clothe them? It's just amazingly stupid where America has gone. First thing Trump did, even before he took over office, when his transition team went to the White House, you know, he had different transition teams. You got one for the White House, one for the Pentagon, one for the State Department, and these people go in there at the president-elect's direct orders to start making changes or let them know what changes are coming. So in the White House, the first thing they said was all this Muslim stuff's going to go. We're not having 5 days a week of 15 minutes of silence while one or two Muslims in this group pray. And we're not having special recognition for Muslims here. We're not having places for them to wash their feet. There's a chapel in the White House. It has a cross on the wall. That's all that's necessary. Anybody can go in there and do whatever they want to do. They can ignore the cross or use it, but we're not having Muslim symbolism in our room. Get it the hell out of here. And that really irritated then President Obama, and he stomped out of there and slammed the doors, but he knew there's nothing he could do about it. You know what else that son of a gun did? He said $223 million to Hamas, the Palestinians. I read today that Congress put the kibosh on that. We're not sending $223 million to the Palestinians or Hamas or whatever those groups are who he was sending it to. That was not in my notes, but I thought I would share that with you. We have other things now, of course. The big controversy is what we're going to do about health care. We have all kinds of opinions. We already know the health care, the Obama health care, the unaffordable no health plan is collapsing of its own weight. It cannot be allowed to just collapse. It has to be, and the Republicans know that, so it has to be either sustained for a while or removed en place, right away, immediately, and replaced. And that's what's going to happen. But moving in that direction, one of the first things that President Trump has done is he has signed executive orders giving states and other agencies broad leeway to chip away at the measures, and when I say measures, I'm talking about the mandates the measures that are so costly, like paying fines, or the number you have to have number of if you have your business has more than X number of people, then you have to pay, the business has to pay and buy them insurance. So that's why a lot of people were left off and businesses got down to the bare minimum they needed. And the employees then had to buy their own insurance, which went up. You know, if you like your insurance, you can keep it. Your doctor, you can keep him. That was all lies, complete lies, totally. But with his pen, he's taking those away. But it's not going to stay away so long as Congress doesn't make a law that makes it stay away, and that's where we're at now, and we have people like Schumer and that in there. Trump signed the executive order in his old office. That was Friday, just hours after being sworn in. The one-page directive gives agencies the authority to grant waivers, to grant exemptions, and delays of provisions in the Affordable Care Act. But until it becomes clear what steps federal agencies take as a result, its full impact on Americans and their health insurance is uncertain. So we'll get it down to a question and answer. So what does the order do? Trump's order. Trump's order states that federal agencies can grant waivers, exemptions, and delays of Obamacare provisions that would impose costs on states or individuals. This language appears to be aimed squarely at undoing the law's unpopular requirement that individuals carry health insurance or face fines. Fair enough, I'm for that. A key provision to the measure of former President Barack Obama's Obamacare, and it was that he signed in 2010. It's not spelled out whether the IRS could waive the fines for failing to secure coverage, and the White House has not explained how it wants agencies to respond to the order. The measure also directs agencies to stop issuing regulations that would expand the health care law's reach. Brilliant. Stop it. No more. And it says the federal government must now allow states greater flexibility in carrying out their own health care programs. It's a sign that the Trump administration is looking to unwind the law in every way it can administratively. Well, happily, the Affordable Care Act is only 6 years old. It has not been embedded in our body politics for decades. It is reversible, it is undoable, it will be undone because that's what Americans want, that's what Trump promised, and that's one of the reasons we voted for him. Why not support this? Another question, will people who get insured under Obamacare lose their coverage as a result of Trump's order? The order doesn't directly target the insurance market. It does not make it the center of health care law, but some experts say that if the directive leads to broad exemptions from the law's coverage requirements, it could scare off insurers. Well, it's not, because insurers are in business to make money. They will come up with a plan for you. They'll have to do it if they want to stay in business, and it'll be one that you can afford. So, you know, that's fake news. That's scare tactics. Insurers see the coverage requirement, or so-called individual mandate, as an essential tool to nudge healthy people into the coverage pool. Without it, companies and most independent experts believe premiums would spike, making healthcare government insurance markets unsustainable. Exactly what happened. That's not going to happen under the Trump administration, I can guarantee you. The campaign director of the Protect Our Care Coalition, a fellow Leslie Dock, issued a statement saying, now quote, while President Trump may have promised a smooth transition, the executive order does the opposite, threatening disruption for health providers and patients. He called the executive order irresponsible. Well, that may be, but it's a step in the right direction, and the irresponsibility, if that's exactly what it is, will only last a short time because they're going to pump this thing through. How quickly will changes take effect? The executive order may not have much impact for this year, 2017, since government rules for this year have already been incorporated into contracts signed with insurance companies. Departments like Health and Human Services and Treasury will have to issue policies that embody the new president's plans. Fair enough. If we follow the law, then we've got to follow the law. But this is the step in the right direction. The Trump administration can rewrite regulations carrying out the legislation, and that's what his executive order permitted agencies to do, issue waivers, exemptions. New regulations cannot be issued overnight, but would have to follow a legally established process that requires public notice and opportunity for interested parties to comment on the administration's changes. I agree with that, but Obama never did it. The Democrats never did it. They just pushed it through, made it happen, and we had to wear it like an albatross around our neck. We had to wear it. So we have somebody here telling us how it should be, and we know how it has been done. It will change. What is Congress's plan for the Affordable Care Act? Now, Tom Price, our congressman from the 6th District, is now going to be the Health and Human Services Secretary. He has a plan. He's a medical doctor with many years of experience, and we'll explain that on the other side of this commercial break. We'll see you on the other side. Aren't we having fun yet? I love this. Let's go for it.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
El Rey and Elijah.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
friendly service, and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Ellijay.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Well, welcome back, fun lovers. This is George McClellan at FetchYourNews.com, North Georgia's only live internet talk show. This is Tuesday, the 24th, 4 days into the Trump administration. We were talking about the Obamacare's repeal. The last question is, what is the Republican Congress's plan for the Affordable Health Care Act? With Republicans in control of both the White House and the Congress, undoing Obamacare's health care plan is at the top of the list in priorities. There's broad agreement among Republicans that the law should be repealed, but lawmakers are less sanguine over what should it be replaced with. Shortly before taking office, Trump said he wanted Congress to pass repeal and replace simultaneously at the same time, essentially saying that we just we cannot drag the Obamacare business out forever. Some Republicans were put on edge with that in the Congress and the Senate. Why? Well, who are these people? They're the old elites that haven't been defeated yet, but McCain's and the Lindsey Grahams. But given and their complaint is the complexity of unwinding the current law. There's nothing complex about it, just the procedure of doing it. And that can be complex depending on however it's presented and moved through those bodies. Trump has been vague about what he wants to include in the replacement package, saying his administration will have a plan after the Senate confirms Tom Price, his choice for Secretary of Health and Human Services. That should be today. The CIA director was confirmed today. I think Tom Price might be confirmed today as well. But, you know, the Democrats are going to deck around with obstructionism for as long as they can. The president has said he wants to keep some of the measures, more popular elements, and he's referring to the Obamacare, most popular elements like young people staying on their parents' insurance until age 26, and preventing insurance companies from providing coverage to people with pre-existing conditions. The argument for that has always been like a car insurance. Oh, I just had a wreck. I better buy some insurance so they'll fix it. Anyway, that's the course of that discussion. Now, my last thoughts on this dysfunctional media news media that we have. I'm going to talk about this. I call it bad trends coming. I'm becoming a bit concerned that Fox News Sunday's Chris Wallace is edging to the dark side. Sunday's interview, nay his challenge of Trump's chief of staff, Reince Priebus, was a tawdry example of combatively exploring the trivial to energize the petty in order to trivialize Donald Trump's presidency by giving credence to pure nonsense. Who cares? Oh, well, the left does. The Martin Luther King bust issue, for example, a chance opportunity taken by a pool reporter who tweeted, Trump ordered the MLK bust removed because he, the reporter, couldn't see it. It was purportedly designed, it was purposefully designed to start tongues wagging on the same level or worse as when Obama handed the bust of Winston Churchill back to the British ambassador 8 long years ago. If you can't see something, wait for it. If it's still not there, ask you about it before treating a gotcha to the world. Well, that gotcha came back and bit him because there was the bust. It was just obscured by, 1, the door, and 2, a special agent of the Secret Service obscuring his view. So this guy made a fool of himself. I would not be surprised if they asked him to return his White House press credential. You don't need idiots like that. Simply not needed. The media doesn't understand Trump's pushback on these small issues. And so they waste valuable Sunday airtime talking about nothing that's important. This is the same with the head count of who attended Bush's inauguration. In 2 more days, 3 more days, who will even care unless the media chokes themselves trying to keep it alive? And apparently they're still doing that. The end result is this: Trump will still be president, and the press will still be untrusted. Now, Trump hit Trump and expect for him to hit back. In this era of divided loyalties, no politician can stand the free hits the press constantly delivers against conservatives. George W. Bush had a policy of not responding, and look where that got him. Obama blamed him for every Democrat congressional failure in the American political and economic scene since the last 2 years of Bush's final term. Trump isn't going to stand for that. Then comes the vagina vigilantes, the Woman's March. Most of them white feminists distraught that Hillary lost the election, demanding freedom. Well, freedom from what? From whom? Looking at the close-ups of the feminist crowd, no 2 signs they held said the same thing. One group wanted free sex without consequences. Another wanted state-paid contraception. Another group demanded free abortions. It was painful. Even street interviews revealed some really, really stupid, uneducated young millennial women. It did not go unnoticed that the alleged feminist celebrities seized control of the microphones to proclaim their anti-Trumpism. The odious and scraggy Madonna, in her usual profanity-laced profile, screamed out to the assembled women her vile thoughts and demands. So did the beautiful Scarlett Johansson, and sadly, the once sweet and lovely Ashley Judd felt compelled to join the fray and smear herself with anarchist shame. Who got to her, one wonders? Why is celebrity granted a free pass? These people are basically stupid about events, guided only by a mistaken philosophy that, 1, abhors men, except when it's time to get pregnant, if a machine can't do it. And first, who is Alicia Key and Janelle Monáe? I've never heard or seen of these people before, and yet I didn't recognize them when they stood up, but yet they spoke on live TV, and they had a message to proclaim and a platform to proclaim it from. The first feminist, Gloria Allred, now an aging old hag, screamed out that if Trump registers Muslims, then we will all register as Muslims. This woman is certifiable. If it's that important to her to welcome jihadists, shouldn't she be wearing a hijab now in solidarity? If she really wanted to be a Muslim woman, perhaps she should practice first by living a year or so in Saudi Arabia. A beating once or twice a day would do her well, and for her re-education. She might even beg Donald Trump to get her out of there. Nah, he wouldn't waste his time on that sort of silly trivia. Remember, in all of this, freedom is the goal, and our Constitution is the way. Now, go get them. In my last few minutes, we're going to cover a few more news items that come up today. George Soros is trying to change the political scene by going where it really counts, attacking district attorneys, existing Republican conservative district attorneys in counties out in the hinterland. Colorado, Jefferson County, Colorado is an example, but he found that he spent $1.8 million supporting the liberal and got beat. The Republican retained the seat, but he's having luck in other places. He's also getting money. People are donating to him. Colorado is a half-half state, but the liberals are in charge, apparently. I mentioned this earlier. Press seeks new rules on how to report about Donald Trump. Time for trade talk with Britain. That's coming up. May, the new prime minister will be here in Washington, D.C. tomorrow, Thursday, to have talks with Donald Trump. Britain is pulling out of the Brexit, or pulling out of the EU. The EU's on the verge of collapse, and it probably will. A new flying ointment over there, however, is the fact that the British Supreme Court has said that Brexit cannot continue until the Parliament passes on it. Okay, fair enough, get that done and over with, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Sean Spicer, the White House press secretary, declared, he said that a lot in his meeting, that we need to talk trade with Britain with his one-on-one deals with key nations. Now, on that other hand, I'd like to say Chile. Chile's a prosperous South American nation. In light of the fact that the TPP is dead as far as America is concerned, Chile is now pursuing direct negotiations with China. Fair enough. Let them do it. Not a thing wrong with that. We buy more Chinese crap than anybody in the world. Chile can buy some more themselves. I have nothing wrong with that. Interesting, in those riots yesterday, this weekend, there was a limousine that was attacked by rioters. I'm not saying it was the women. It was men. It was black men and brown men. They attacked the limousine, set it on fire, knocked the windows out, injured the driver, who was a Muslim and owned the limousine and had a business. It will cost his company $70,000 for damages if insurance doesn't cover it, to include having the health insurance or the repair damage to his driver. So there we are. We have we love our imported Muslims, but not if they're trying to make a business and enter free enterprise, which is what Trump is talking about. Trump, Pence meet with House Majority Leader Ryan to Pence hammer out GOP agenda. They pretty much know what the agenda is. What they're trying to do is convince Ryan he's got to come along. Ryan's got a decision to make. He's the House leader, and he's got people on both sides of him trying to direct him to do this and do that and whatever. He's got to be a strong leader. There hasn't really been a strong leader, I don't think, since Newt Gingrich. This man has an opportunity. He's cast his bid. He's with Trump, and they've got to see where they're going. But he represents the House, which has 400 and some people in it, and so there we are. Kellyanne Conway says she's received white substances in the mail. She also punched out a guy the other day. Did you know that? They're not talking about it a lot, but somebody insulted her enough, well, she laid him out. And we'll see if that makes the news today. I think it was yesterday. Kellyanne Conway counseled to President Trump, said she received pieces of mail that contained suspicious white powder on multiple occasions and had to employ a security detail for her personal protection as a result of the media coverage. Well, that's an old trick. That's been going on for a long time. The white powder, probably foot powder or baking soda, but it could be sarin or some other thing. Here we are. Chile seeks a trade deal with China after Trump scraps the TPP. Good for them. Oh, here's a little infighting that comes up. Jared Kushner, that would be Trump's son-in-law, lobbied Trump to keep Conway out of the White House. So Trump is not wholly beholden to the family. He wants that woman in there. She's a fighter. Jared Kushner unsuccessfully lobbied Trump not to hire Kellyanne Conway for an administrative post. He viewed her as a self-promoter. Well, she is a self-promoter, and she knows how to promote Trump, and he knows it, and that's why she's there. She's the most successful woman in politics right now. Absolutely the most successful. We can't get over a thing like that. I'm at the end of my hour. I've had a great time talking these things with you. If you want to call tomorrow, I'll be back tomorrow. Give me a call, and we'll have a chat. And so you all have a good day out there. The sun is shining. The weather's beautiful out here right now. So anyway, y'all be good. See you tomorrow. This is George McClellan.